Hey, Kanyisa, you're clearly happy to be back home with the Algerians, ready to face Orlando Pirates tomorrow in Orlando. It's an interesting group because Ahly have just played and they've just beaten Stade Abidjan by 3-1. So maybe let's start then. We are joined by Velile Mnyandu, Sports Live senior reporter, SABC Sport senior reporter and an authority when it comes to continental football. Good evening from us on the show, Velile, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Good evening, Tabiso, and also to the viewers. It's been a good start so far to the new year for some teams, but also good to be here on Sports Live.
Let's start with this group, which is Group C, that we're talking about. We've just heard from Ribeiro and Kanyisa. Ahly have just played against Stade Abidjan. What does that victory do then to the log?
A very important victory, especially for Ahly, because it means that Ahly now, Tabiso, in terms of the points, they are almost home and dry when you look at it. But also, it also means that for Orlando Pirates, tomorrow's game is a must-win. It's a must-win because if you look at where they are right now, they are just 2 points behind Ahly. So if they draw tomorrow, that will take them to only 9 points. So meaning that going to next weekend's matches, CRB can still overtake them because they are playing against Stade Abidjan at home next week. So this then goes back to what Coach Jose Ribeiro is talking about there, that they don't want to use calculators. They just want to settle this game tomorrow at Orlando Stadium. And I think from how I'm looking at it, because Ahly becomes a very different team in Cairo.
A different team without Percy Tau, who was not in the squad today. Can we now officially confirm that he's leaving Ahly or he's left Ahly? And if so, where to next for Percy Tau?
Tabiso, I know that Percy Tau has left Ahly, but if we look at what Ashore did today, one of the troublesome players, Ashore, in fact, at some stage he was also suspended because he had fought against El Shenawi, the captain and the goalkeeper. He scored a hat-trick today. And I think it's an indication from their side to say we don't miss Percy Tau. But having said that, Percy Tau becomes a player also who brings a different dimension to this Ahly team, especially in some tight matches. So that's why when you're looking at it, I still do feel that they might miss him down the road, especially going into the knockout phase. As we know that he is set to be unveiled this weekend in Qatar for Qatar Sports Club. That's a team that is set to join for the next 6 months with an option to sign a 2-year contract. I've seen some reports, Tabiso, in terms of the money that he could be earning. It's said to be between 10 million rands and 14 million rands just for the next 6 months.
Okay, then you can understand why he is making the move. You were in Orlando today for the press conference, Belouizdad and Pirates. What kind of feeling do you get around Orlando Pirates, considering that they're still unbeaten in these group stages? A lot of people are not sure what the targets would be, considering that they've been out of the group stages for 4 seasons now. How does it feel within the group or within the camp?
So I think we must commend this Orlando Pirates team. They remain one of only 3 teams in this cup competition that is unbeaten so far. We're talking about match day number 5 this weekend. They are also yet to concede at home. And this is a team, that's something that we're also talking about this week with Makaula as well. In the group stages, when they started the group stages, there's only one player who had played the CAF Champions League group stages, and that was Makaula. So with all that inexperience, and that's how even Coach Ribeiro refers to it, that even himself was inexperienced when it comes to the CAF Champions League group stages. Here they are. They win tomorrow. They go into the last game of the group stages still as the number 1 ranked team in their group. So I think when we look at it from and also remember this CRB team they are playing against, out of the 4 out of the last 4 editions of the CAF Champions League, they've been semi-finalists in 3 of those editions. And the other one, the 4th one, they were also in the group stages. So if you look at it, these are not just manga teams that they are with. They are with 12-time champions, and also a team that is the regular in the knockout phase. But still, they've been able to punch above their weight.
And then the Stade Abidjan in that group. But let's move to Sundowns now. Very good win today against Maniema, who were also told in the beginning of the campaign that they're not a manga team. And they're going to surprise a lot of people. Well, they even surprised many people in a Group B because they still bottom there. What did you make of the performance? Does the performance matter today? Because we can easily say Sundowns were not at their best, but they got the victory, which is what was vital.
And you know, Tabiso, I think you are making a very important point here, and I think that South African football fans need a bit of education. And you know, I was having this conversation on the social media space with one of the people who was following the game of MC Alger and TP Mazembe, and they were talking about this haram football. And then I was asking, what is this haram football? And they were telling me, no, haram football is something that is unwatchable, you know, that's not attractive to the eye. In this stage of the competition, Tabiso, there's nothing about attractive football, because there is no comment in the results column, Tabiso. It's all about going through, and you know, so yes, Sundowns, they are not at their best today. I felt that maybe they started well and they should have managed to take the lead in this game. But also remember, they are also playing on an artificial pitch, and even if you look at the bounce of the ball that bit Ronan Williams at the near post, so those things also come into play as well. We know that if you put Sundowns on a good pitch, we saw last week, even before they got the red card, the football was not as bad. Yeah. So yes, it's an issue that they almost lost to AS Maniema, but now that is no longer the issue because they got the 3 points. And I think we should credit them for the gallant effort that they showed. Shalulile coming from the bench. My only observation around Sundowns, and it has always been the observation, is that the South Americans, only in their policy of going for players, especially if they want to conquer Africa, having too many South Americans is not going to help them, because you also need players who understand the African conditions. So the sooner Sundowns revisit the issue of not of signing at least East African or even West African talent, it works for them because they will also help you with the conditions. I mean, look at Peter Shalulile on the bench. He came back and he did the job.
Yeah, and look at Salas when he got his opportunities there. Still struggling maybe to adjust to continental football. But let's leave it there, Velile. Thanks for the insight. Let's also not forget Stellenbosch in the CAF Confed Cup. They can actually get out of this group. They are second now in their group, and they'll be playing tomorrow. Interestingly, they're playing their matches away from home, and they're playing at Loftus. Again, they've been playing at Moses Mabhida, so we wish Stellies all the best against Stade Malien, and let's see if they can get out of their group. But Velile Mnyandu talking all things continental football.